Okay, we are doing a Stella 4000 SW6000XGC. I'm gonna swap to the PG gear set, and this is the 4 component that you need: drive gear, worm gear, pinion gear, and idle gear. Alright, let's set those aside for now. And now we are going to disassemble the 4000. Set the handle aside. Side. Side. Okay. Shim. Side. Pause. Okay. Next up, 0.9mm hex tool. Don't want to lose that part. Leave it here. And in order. Make it easier, we'll just remove this as a whole rig. And this is how it should go in that order. Two parts go together. We're going to set it aside. That covers the roller nut. Okay. Clockwise to loosen. Is. Close the bail, move the entire assembly, roll the cup. There is a black O-ring there. This is the black O-ring. Might come out, so just notice there should be one. That goes on top of the clutch. Goes on top like that before the roller ring. Okay, so make note of that. Goes in order like that. Afterward, this is essentially a 6000 size reel, 4000 rotor, and 4000 size spool. So to turn this into a 6000 PG, we just ordered the PG gear set from Japan. Alright, notice the alignment. We got 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. This is the anti-reverse bearing. This is the call it a clutch sleeve. And like I said, that large thick washer goes on top there. Leave it as it is. And this large thick one goes beneath it. So there's one on top, one on the bottom, and one on top. So that's the order you're going to assemble it in. right to left. That in, that, and boom. Okay. Ring here, just remember to put it back, so don't put it too far. This is the seal for the roller clutch, for the clutch. Next up, I'm gonna remove the body screw first. So it looks like all hex, except for this one. Alright, this little screw is for the bottom plate. We're gonna leave it right here so we don't lose it. I'm gonna leave it out here. We can put this together later. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. We'll remove the pinion gear later. Okay, I'm gonna find out what size torque screw fit this. Okay, the torque screw you want is a T8. Weha makes the best tool. Okay, T8, and move this two screw here first and set it to the side. They should be identical. That one's the bottom, so we're going to label it 2. And for the top one, it's going to be 1. But they should be identical, and they are. Okay. Top. Bottom. It looks like all 4 screws are identical. There's a Loctite on them, but we're going to leave it. I'm going to call this 3 and 4. So the 2 side screws are 1 and 2, and the top and bottom is 3 and 4. So another trick, put the chopstick in there, and that will keep the main gear from coming off with it. Okay, the body seal actually goes into these gasket right here. I'll leave this the way it is. Set it aside for now. Remove the drive gear shim. There is, looks like 1, but there's actually 3. We are going to move this 3 to the PG drive gear set. Leave it here so I don't confuse the two. Okay, right. Put the drive gear for safekeeping. And I'm going to label this. Well, I know which it is, so. Okay. We need to swap this gold idle gear with this black one, and the worm shaft and the pinion. Let's go ahead and remove the pinion gear. Oh, this is always going to fall off. This is the trip. This is when you turn the spool, the ramp trips the bail. One, two, three. That prevents the pinion gear from popping up. There are no washer here, so This pinion gear also has no washer. Okay, put the, guess it was just wrapped in here. Swear I don't confuse the part. Here, worm gear. Drive gear, put everything in the drive gear bag. Safekeeping. Alright, we still have to do the worm gear. Since I can't see as well as I used to. Okay. Back out the worm gear. Replace the worm gear. And get that idle gear out and replace it. 2 screws. Top. On. Fortunately, they are identical. Let's see if there's any gasket. No gasket. Okay, this bushing here is from the worm gear. Should come right out, but let's go ahead and remove this too. The bottom, well, they're both gonna have O-ring. Tiny little O-ring there. And let's see if they're identical in length. Looks to be that way, but we don't really. Spin and remove this shaft. Probably have to remove that bearing in order to remove that shaft. Proving to be a little bit of a challenge. There's a particular orientation. Alright, that should come out now. Okay, fish that out. Okay, from my experience, it just doesn't drop in. There's a little bit of a ledge or something. I don't see it. Maybe it does drop straight in. Don't see any grooves, so it should drop straight in. Alright, on to the worm gear. That one holds that top idle gear. This worm gear should slide right out. There's that bushing in that order. This is for the shaft. Okay. Should be able to gently remove the worm gear. washer, another washer, push this little pin up that holds it. Okay, that holds that middle idle gear that we need to get to. Now it should pop right off. Okay. Alright, let's do the orientation. There's a little bit of a ledge here. We want that side to be down, so we want it on that side. Let's see, shouldn't be anything here. Straight up like that, and straight up like that. Alright, that's our third component. Now we just need to get that worm gear out of there, and it's not budging for some reason. Ah, as easy as that. I don't know what the holdup was before. One bearing. And that is our new worm gear. Different part number. And it is indeed different. So you have to change that to get an even line lay. Sometimes you don't have to, sometimes you do. Right, I want to keep confusing myself. Little part goes there. Put the bearing in now we want. Now we gotta do it. Slide it back and get into place. And this is a lot harder than it looked, because there's a bearing up there that just came out. Oh no, this bearing doesn't go there. This bearing goes inside this hole. It just happened to drop out of that hole, that's all it is. I don't know if you can see it. The bearing goes up inside that hole. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. That bearing sits right there. Okay. And this part is always tricky. Try to get that worm gear to go in there. It's just trial and error. Sometimes you get lucky and it goes in right away. You know what? We did just get lucky. Went in and there's enough clearance here. Needs to be flat. Once it's flat, it should be able to slide wide and flat. Alright, I think we got it. Test to see. Okay. And okay, there we go. All right. Cut it to a line. Push this bearing in. All right, let's get this thing. Let's get that baby in before it comes out again. It's perfectly locked in place now. Okay. And we are almost home free. Nice flush over there. Get this bearing out. Put this guy in first. Okay, next. This can go in. Okay. A little bit of a pain. Got that seated. And we're going to even seat the bearing. Pinion, and where did I put that bearing? Okay. Put that bearing in there. Okay, she's in. Straighten it out. It's in. Put this bearing there just to keep it properly aligned. For now, insert the two gear posts. All right, we are home free. Hard part is done. Go ahead and secure pinion gear in place. First of all, make sure everything's turning. Okay, all right. Don't do this if you're low on blood sugar or hungry. Okay, Weehaw is the best tool. Alright, the old worm gear is here, and also is the other gear, so we are all set. Everything's nice, secure in place. All we have to do is drop in the drive gear. Which we already put the shim in. And insert the body seal. Looks good right there, so I'm not going to peel it from the other side. And see if we need to shim it. Ooh. Can't forget this guy. Like I said, don't do this when you're hungry. Okay, check, make sure it's turning. Alright, lights off, see you for now. Okay, GoPro should adjust itself. It is turning smoothly. No binding. Now we're gonna put all the screws in and then put the handle in and shim it. Okay. Top. And that's the T8. We'll tighten it for now. Top. Alright, I'm gonna tighten it. I'm gonna shim it. I'm gonna check the handle play. It's already tight. Tells me I might have to take out a shim. See if it work itself loose. We'll definitely have to remove a shim. It's already too tight to turn by hand. Okay, we're gonna have to remove one shim because it's already too tight to turn by hand. That's why they call it Shimano. Shimano. Screws all the same, but go ahead. That one. Bottom. Top. this centered. Well, I gotta remove one shim. I believe the silver one is the thinnest. Yeah, it definitely is. That's how we check for it. Okay. You start off with the thickest one, 0.12. And you keep adding shim. This one I believe is 0.06 or 0.05, and that one should be 0.03, the silver one. It's not neat in this case, just removing it. It's super thin. Removing it will free it up. Leave it out. Put that back in. Alright, now I'm going to tighten it back up. So add a little bit of grease on here so it stays put. Okay, check again, moving freely. I'll go tighten it. Okay, tighten it really good. Let's see if it still spins. Now we're crushing side plate against the body, so just right on shim. Perfect, it's loose. Attach the handle. Don't worry about the bottom side plate yet. That's last. Okay. Free spinning. Perfect. And no play. Oh, and 0.002 play. 0.03 would be too much, so not much noticeable play. I'm gonna back it off. We're ready to put everything back together. Okay, perfect. Check the tightness. Good there, good there. Skip the bottom. Just get it in. This is the only here. That's it, people. We are home free. Get that in there. A little bit of grease on here so it stays put. Okay, remember we have one of this. And you line these two together. We say it was 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. There it is. This side always face up, big side. Okay. Lights. Get that. Alright, we'll do home free. Put it in later. Alright, goes on there. Check the anti-reverse, go forward, backward, it does lock. Okay, we remove this 0.03mm shim on the drive gear, otherwise it would lock up. See that ring right there? Okay, lefty is not loosey, lefty to tighten it. Right, before we tighten it all the way, let's check. Locks in place, nice and quiet. just enough grease, but we don't overdo it, so it's free spinning. And see if you can see any play there. Nope, barely any. Okay, here's the gear ratio. We're gonna start at here, this position, and you see where that line roll is. We're gonna go around 1 time, and that thing should go about 4.6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, about 4.5. So we just changed the 6.2 gear ratio to a 4.6. All right, put everything back. Okay. Check it. Perfect. Okay, home free. See that little gap here and that spring underneath? It will find its way. And if it doesn't, you drag and click. All right, there. Now it's in place. If it doesn't line up, you can't put the screw in. And we're done. In place. What we're going to do after this is take out some line and see if it wind back. It wind line evenly. Alright, that's it. PGA gear swap. 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4.5.